Well, hello, everybody. My name is War. I am an employee over at the Bridge for Youth. We are a local nonprofit in South Minneapolis. We work with young populations. We have an amazing advisory board sitting in front of you. They've been with our organization and or advised our organization for a while over a year, I'd say for some of you, if not two, right? And so we've had the pleasure of being able to solicit feedback and engage them in conversations of, how we could be more intentional for community. I think the biggest thing that I want to highlight for these young people is that they are inspirational, they're motivated, they're professional, they're full of love, they're gifted, they're amazing, right? And so I want to kind of leave you all with something in particular as far as a bit of a quote, and recognize that in this forum you might be inspiring others, right? So the most powerful thing that you can do is ignite change. And who knows, today you might do that, right? This is going to be broadcast and streamed at some point, and so that considered, you might be igniting change not only for yourself but for someone else. So keep that in mind while we're engaging in the youth forum. And then I got a bit of a prompt to get you guys started, and then I'm going to exit the scene because this is the youth forum and my old self is not a child, although I'm young at spirit. So, and then Zeke, I did share the quote with you if you needed to, the prompt with you if you needed to kind of refresh if people get lost. But what is one word you needed to hear growing up that would have made a world of difference for you today? So again, what is one word that you needed to hear growing up that would have made a world of difference for you today? Or phrase. What is one phrase, one word? I will say, I'll share mine. My phrase is, be the person you needed when you were young. And with that, I'm going to exit.
All right, we've been kind of given some expectations and ground rules. I just want to go over those fast so we can set expectations, but also have these conversations. So number one, respecting the mic, allowing the person with the mic to speak without interruption. Two, showing respect and listening without judgment. Don't prepare in your mind for what you're going to say next, but allow yourself to listen and be an active listener in these conversations because there might be something you're going to miss if you're thinking about what you're saying next. Number three, everyone is equal. We're all experts in our own way, and we all bring value to the conversation. Number four, own and guide the conversation. Take responsibility for the quality of your participation and conversation as a whole. Number five, be authentic and welcome that from others. Share what's important to you and speak from experience. Be considerate of others doing the same. So with that, does anyone have anything that they want to add to these expectations that they feel is something that can help them participate wholly in this conversation? All right. Everyone understand the expectations, I assume? Cool. So, with that being said, do we just start? Think about our identity and how you experience your identity on a daily basis. The part of your identity that you're most aware of, the least aware of, that you feel is most misunderstood by others, that you wish you knew more about, that you feel is difficult to discuss with others who identify differently. Identity being the holistic person that you are, that includes your sexual orientation, your race, ethnicity, your gender identity and or biological sex, national origin, class, ability, and disability. You want to go first?
Sure. So I think that I don't know. I think for me, I'm gonna rotate this. Hi. So for identity, I think identity is something you experience every day because it's how you identify, and it's also you have to. For me, my identity is more so trying to get other people to perceive me how I perceive myself, which I feel like can be a very difficult thing, especially in this day and age. I'm sick of this already. And with me being trans, that is for me especially difficult when I don't look how I want to look. Because I feel that when certain people have, whether they consider it a luxury or not, when most people, like when you get out of the shower and you see yourself in the mirror, you can go, that is my body. For me, when I get out of the shower and if I see myself in the mirror, I go, that's a body. It does not look like what I think my body would look like. And so that creates a whole nother set of challenges with identity and figuring out with how I want to look and perceive myself and others perceive myself. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything? Anyone want to say, comment? I'll just make stuff up and keep talking.
I mean, I'm right there with you in the whole identity thing of maybe not matching what your body feels and looks like to other people. It's a strange thing. I identify as non-binary, femme, and it's really difficult to try to moderate the pronouns I use, because a lot of people will just say, hey, like, longish hair, wears jewelry, some other identifying markers that would make people assume that I am a female. And it's just like, at what point are you going to say to a stranger, oh, those aren't the pronouns I use, or that makes me feel uncomfortable, or it's your pick your battles. If you're gonna see this person again after a while, sure, like, correct them, but like at some point it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. So what are other people's experiences with identity, and like, how do you identify? Like,
It doesn't have to be just in the scope of gender identity. This can be anything that identifies you as a human being.
At first, I had no, it's off topic, but at first I thought y'all was reading off that as we go to the answer. I had thought, as I said, I had thought that y'all was reading off, and as we go, y'all was gonna ask questions and we was gonna answer them.
I was just planning on going 1 through whatever 4 and
Okay.
stopping at each one.
Yeah, that's what's.
Yeah.
Unless you guys find something that feels more comfortable for you and your what you want to talk about, because this is for everyone here. It's our conversation. It's not my conversation or Zeke's conversation. It's
The identity at the end of the day for any person, if you feel like that's who you want to be, that's who you is. Like, can't nobody change that. A lot of people, they've been around people that like didn't like them for them. Like you can't how can I put this? You can't make somebody else happy if you ain't happy. I'm not finna change who I am because you don't like me. That don't make sense. Because that means I'm making myself feel bad about myself and sad about myself. And I'm not even being one with myself. And it ain't cool. So yeah. I just be myself. A lot of people be thinking, oh yeah, you this, you that. I'd be like, huh? You ain't even ask me. Just don't assume. A lot of people judge. You can't judge people. People want to judge, but they don't even know what's really going on. So yeah, that's understandable.
for sure.
Do you guys feel that there's pressure from like other people to conform a certain way or look a certain way or act a certain way, whether it is negative pressure or if it's positive pressure of like someone like hyping you up of like, you look really good in this, you should wear this more often? Or is there more like negative, like, you look bad, don't do that? Like, yeah, what's your guys' experience with people in the world?
I'm very nonchalant to a lot of negative feedback to anything that I, enjoy to do in my life or my time or the way I present myself or anything like that. So I've gotten bad feedback. I've gotten good feedback. For the bad feedback, I do that. I laugh. I laugh, I smile. It's really kind of hard to take it serious coming from people who aren't 100 with themselves or accepting themselves. So I've learned hurt people hurt people. So, I didn't clear my circle out from friends like that, family, and yeah, it's all just about keeping a clean circle around you. People who support you for you, love you for you, and no judgments. So
Okay, so I feel like with identity, I feel like it starts at a young age. Like, you know what you want to be, but you have like adults telling you that that's not right, that's not you, and like they're pushing you to be somebody that you don't want to be. And most adults wonder why they lose their kids at a certain age or a young age because you didn't take the time to listen to them and their wants and their needs.
That's a really good point. Do you think that any of these identities overlap or intersect in shaping either how you feel, present yourself, or how people perceive you?
I feel like, especially in today, a lot of people make like compromises between who they want to be or who they wish they were and who like society or their school or their family or the community they're in expects them to be. Like, I for a very long time did not wear makeup or crop toppy things or more feminine things because I was like, no, as a trans man, I have to dress very masculine. And then I realized that they're clothes. They're clothes. No one gives a crap. And if they do give a crap, I don't care about that person. And I am the most important thing in my world. I'm gonna dress however I want to dress, and everybody else can suck it. Like, if there's not people, the world makes things so complicated, and at the end of the day, you just need to be happy. And so I think there really is like a conflict of identities sometimes in people because you have expectations for, let's say, your gender identity that go against your sexual identity that might challenge your something else. I don't know, your whatever. But yeah, so life is confusing, man. Can't we all get along?
Can I pass on this one?
Yeah. Huh.
Do you two want to move on to the next question, or do you want to elaborate a little bit more on this? Moving on? Okay. Considering 2020 was defined by a pandemic, what are your thoughts about mental health during the pandemic? Did you find that it was important to upkeep your mental health, or is that something that felt important but fell on the back burner? I know for myself, it definitely fell on the back burner more times than I'd like to admit. Just because there's only 3 crises that our brain can deal with at one time. a national pandemic, a leader that is not handling the national pandemic, and then whatever educational crises I was having at the time of the next due date. Whereas my mental health was not on any of those three burners, and it was not great.
Do you guys want to start down there, or should we keep starting over here?
Okay, I feel like with my mental health with the pandemic, it was very difficult. Like, I had to deal with my mom, my siblings in school. And like whenever I tried to express myself, I always got shut down. It was like, you don't know how you're feeling. That's not real. You can't go through that. So I feel like, in general, I feel like parents should like really just sit down and talk to their kids half the time. They don't actually take the time to, sit down, see what's going on. Like, you could say your kid's fine, but they're really not.
Absolutely.
My mental health during the pandemic, it was like a roller coaster, here and there, good days, bad days. Yeah, more bad. Having to be in the house. And then, whatever type of household you're in with whatever, you're forced to stay with them in there, whatever. I don't know. I didn't like this pandemic at all. I really didn't. That's like the longest I've been in the house. Yeah. Like, no food, like, fast foods, and it creates stress. It created stress for me. Stress, and then kids. Just stress. Can't go nowhere.
What about you?
How the pandemic been for me.
Mentally.
Oh well, yes, it's been kind of stressful. I've been having to dealing with a lot of people reacting on it, and like when people do their research, stuff like that, I really told myself like not to really stress it, even though people get in it, can't really stress it because like it's all, I don't know how to put it. How can I put it? Yeah, skip this question for me. I'm gonna go to a whole deeper. I'm gonna take this conversation deeper.
You said pass?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna take the COVID little test a little deep. I don't want to say too much.
So how about everyone's sense of
Oh.
time? That just
Wait.
flew out the window.
Can I talk?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. You're good. I was just like, wait, I want to say something. I feel like personally for COVID, for the mental health, I'll get deep. I don't care. I think it was horrible. I think a lot of people had to spend a lot of time with themselves, and I don't think a lot of people are comfortable being alone with themselves. And that was really challenging because you had to be alone with thoughts that you didn't want to have. And there wasn't a way to distract yourself a lot of the time, or like you feel like you'd run out of distractions. So I think a lot of people developed a lot of new hobbies, whether those hobbies were actual hobbies or negative coping skills, to be determined. But I think it also gave a lot of people some good things by being forced to be alone with yourself. You had to find something you liked about yourself or some way to keep sane, or else you went a little bit crazy, and you're still a little bit crazy, but that's okay. But mental health when you are alone in your house is hard, and collectively everyone was alone, which I think for me anyway, knowing that everyone else was also slowly losing their mind, cooped up with people that they didn't want to be cooped up with, was a little bit comforting. But yeah, it was hard to be alone.
We love
Okay,
being
now what?
alone with our thoughts. It's great. No, I definitely feel that, and being stuck in a household of people that, like, I don't know, it's difficult being stuck in a box with another person, and you run out of conversation topics, and you're like, well, now what? So, on to the next question. Awesome. Considering your own understanding of race and ethnicity, let's discuss it. Were conversations of these types ever brought up during your upbringing?
Am I starting? Okay. Or does someone else want to start? Do you want to start? Do you want to start? Am I starting?
You want number 4?
3.
Oh, 3. I guess I'm starting. For race and ethnicity, I'm not even gonna try. I can't talk. I'm sorry. For race, I obviously am white, so I am privileged. I don't know. I think that being white person, if you're not a poopy one, you should be using your privilege in a way to help uplift people who may not have opportunities to speak out, or who are being squandered at every opportunity to speak out. Like, if just because of something as stupid as your skin color, you automatically have more power, you should be using that power in a way to even things out and better things. Because race should not be a defining factor of someone's worth, of someone's value, of someone's anything. It's melanin and how much sun you get. It's not a defining feature of someone, or it shouldn't be in my eyes. Yeah. Wee.
Okay, talking about race, well, this is how people look at me like, as like, I know I'm black or whatever, but people, like, when I go for jobs and stuff like that, they're thinking I gangbang, and I'd be like, hold on, what? I'd be like, yo, I graduated high school a long time ago, 16, and I'm in college. Like, you don't even know, but you just think just because the way I'm dressing, you just, oh yeah, he's a gangbanger. Like, I don't even like that term. But I just hope all that changes, like what you said, that it's not right to try to justify how somebody looks or how they identify themselves. Yeah, not cool.
Sometimes, I don't know. I begin like the half end of the stick a lot of the times. I get talked about from both sides. I don't know. I guess it's just being light skinned, they say, or something. Once again, I'm nonchalant, so I really don't pay this type of stuff no mind.
I feel like being black is very hard. You always have people staring at you. Maybe she's stealing. Maybe she's gonna fight somebody. Or it's always that one term, an angry black woman. I don't like that. Like, I should be able to speak my mind freely. I'm not angry. I just want you to hear me. I also feel like within the black community, there's a lot of problems. Like, there's the whole, like you said, the light skin, brown skin, dark skin. We're all black. It's just like, why are we fighting each other when we're supposed to be empowering each other, helping each other, uplifting each other? And I just feel like this generation don't know how to do that. Like, they really don't. And all these famous people, especially the black ones, like, I personally feel like they really could do better. Like, you need to help your community more. Do something. Like, you're sitting there rapping, making money. That's, to me, that's nothing. I don't like that. Like, y'all will be like, I came from the bottom, now I made it up. You still got people in your hood starving. Come on now. Like, it's just horrible. And then y'all make it seem like, especially these rappers, they make it seem like for the young men, it's okay for them to treat women any certain type of way. And they fail to realize, like, these boys literally look up to y'all. They literally worship y'all. Y'all have to do better. Y'all sending out a message to these kids, and it's just not okay. Especially to our black ones, our black and brown ones.
Going on to the next question. Has race or ethnicity impacted your daily life? And if so, how? More specifically, have you experienced oppression of any kind based upon this sole factor?
Okay, if you're black, you can't be smart. I feel like a lot of people just automatically assume that, like, we can't do stuff. Like, we can't go to college, we can't finish high school, we can't own a store, we can't own a building, we can't do stuff like that. And that hits me the hardest because it's just like, I'm capable of doing anything that anybody else can do. I'm going to be on top one day. And, like, my goal, I want to, like, really help all black communities, no matter where it's at. If it's in Los Angeles, Minnesota, I like they really just need that. They need somebody to look up to, and we don't have that now. And if we do, they always going down for something bad, or the system is making it seem like they're not okay in their head or stuff like that.
Yeah. We really can't, well, I don't want to say can't, because it's a lot of us who have and are still doing it. But the way the generation is set today, it's hard to do anything if you're of color. That's why now on applications and things where I have to put my race and stuff, I put other. You'll see when I get there. You're not finna judge me straight off application because I put Black, African American, or just, you know. So yeah.
All right, last part of 3. Are you proud of your racial identity, and has it impacted racial relations for you, i.e. us versus them, etc.?
I'll start. I will start. I am not proud of my racial identity. I am not. There's a lot of horrible things that white people have done over the years, and there is, like, nothing we can probably do within the court before the earth dies, because we got like 10 years that will even come close to saying we're sorry, because we've done horrible things to so many cultures, and there are still people who think that's okay. And that's like, until everybody in the world gets on the same page and realizes that people are people, you don't have a right to judge someone based on race, ethnicity, gender, sex, anything, then we're always just going to be arguing. And we're always going to be arguing over this thing, because it's, love each other. Everybody hug.
I'm very proud of who I am. I don't care what nobody say. Like, what my people went through, we're fighters, survivors. Like, come on now. And as far as I know, especially the Black queens, we're literally trendsetters. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I love me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm proud. Wouldn't change it for nothing in the world.
I'm happy with who I am because of the attention I get when I go outside, when I go to the bar, when I go anywhere. It's always good energy. I never had no negative energy around me because I don't like negative people. So, from my experience, I haven't had no racial problem probably like 2 times. Never. I don't deal with it because every time I go out, I have fun, and it be majority of white people, and I be having fun. So I don't usually have no racial problems. But yeah, I'm happy with my color.
4.
4.
4. How is cancel culture defined? Some may argue that it's become out of control because of outcomes it produces. For example, loss of professional opportunities, violation of free speech, etc. How has living through the pandemic influenced this, if at all?
I think, like with anything in media, there's pros and cons. I think that cancel culture has called out some things that probably wouldn't have gotten called out unless the media was as creepy as it is, and like diving into things it maybe shouldn't, but at the same time, like maybe rifling through people's personal lives to find out information isn't exactly how you should go about things or stuff like that. But I do definitely believe that, like, if you do a horrible thing, you're gonna get called out. And if you think people aren't gonna go to extreme lengths just like you did doing that bad thing, I think you're kind of stupid. Because, yeah, if you do something dumb, someone's gonna call you out. And you might not like how far they go to call you out.
Still talking about the pandemic?
No, now we're on 4. Finally.
How
Finally.
has living through the pandemic influenced this, if at all? Its intersection.
Okay. And how it became out of control?
Cancel culture, yeah.
Okay. Well, with the rioting and stuff and protesting, that became a big problem, and it shouldn't even got that far. And there was a real big outbreak, and it shouldn't. I don't know. But yeah. Talking about this stuff, it makes me mad.
Yeah.
That's just knowing what's just been going on in general, and how it ain't right, and ain't nobody trying to really make a change. Like, people try to protest. Y'all protesting for probably like a week or 2, and it ain't changing nothing. Probably changing one thing, but y'all not really out there. Like, if everybody really wants to come together, y'all will come out the house. Y'all come out the house and join with everybody. Y'all will leave work. There's a lot of police leaving their jobs in Chicago, like quitting, like, because everything is planned. And this game is rigged. Like, people don't understand that, but like, if you got it, I don't know what to say because I don't know what not to say. But yeah, like, people need to use their head and come together, because all they want us to be separated. They setting up camps for people to be separated. They've been trying to keep people separated forever. Like, people not gonna be satisfied until everybody die, and they just try to make everybody come against each other, which they already doing. They make it a problem with the. Okay, oh.
Yeah, the rioting and looting, how they took that extremely too far. Trying to blame it on a cultural thing, but no.
I have to say one more thing. I don't know if anybody noticed, but like, the pandemic started because what's what I assume. It started because of the world population. There's too many people in this world. Like, people can't even breathe. Like, you go outside, certain places, they don't even have good air. You go to the country, you have fresh air. Why is the difference? There's too many people in the city. Like, people go to the country, you can breathe, you can have good food. We come out here, what's good out here. Restaurants, fast food, like that ain't no. They started. They really needed the pandemic to kill people. They killed millions of people. It's too many people. People just keep having babies. No, they need to kill off people, and they're gonna keep doing it until it's just minimized people. That's why so many black people getting killed, and so many other people getting killed. Like, they not trying to stop it because if they was, they have so many army, military. They want to bring it out to try to kill people, but they can't bring them out to like help people. They can't do nothing. Oh, bro. Okay, this is retarded. It's not cool.
Oh, nothing.
Is this a wrap on cancel culture? Would we like to? Yes. Okay. To the topic of houselessness, is a more recently considered an epidemic, a disease widely occurring in a community at a particular time, a sudden, widespread occurrence of a particular undesirable phenomenon. Do you agree that houselessness is becoming an epidemic?
So just so I'm clear, because I'm a little stupid sometimes. Houselessness, homelessness, yes?
Same thing.
Same thing?
A
Okay.
person without a stable.
Got it. So, not an epidemic. Thing that has been happening for a while. But is getting worse because of COVID. So, kind of epidemic, I guess. But not the right word, I don't think. I don't know. Undesirable phenomenon. Okay, I would say undesirable in the fact that nobody wants to lose their house. However, homelessness is a whole issue. This makes me mad. Like, why is homelessness an issue? There's plenty of houses. There's plenty of houses. There's plenty of land. If we followed, like, there's other countries that have, like, I can't remember what exactly the plan is called, but they give everyone a house. They give everyone, like, basic insurance, basic income, basic place to live. And if you want, like, a TV, a couch, like, air conditioning, you have to get a job. But, like, you have running water, a roof, shelter, those things. Why don't we have that here? We have enough crap. Like, there's so many empty buildings. Why don't we convert some of those? Like, shelters are sketch, and homeless shelters especially can get real, for especially adult ones, can get really not great. So, but like, let's find something. This is dumb. And let's stop kicking and destroying homeless camps, maybe. Let's stop, like, they just want to sleep and not have to move every day. Let them sleep. Why? It's just.
Well, on that note, you asked why people just won't help homeless if they have so much property? Huh?
No, I was more saying there's just a lot of empty houses in both Minneapolis and St. Paul that are just foreclosed on, and like they don't get torn down, they don't get reused. Why don't we use them for something else? Why are they just sitting there empty if we don't ever use them for anything? You good?
I pass. I really have something to say.
Yeah, I agree with you with the like stop taking down like their tents and their little homes that they do build their own like little communities in. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of homelessness on the south side. It's a lot. It gets you to stutter shit. It gets you to look. It gets you to ask questions like, what are they doing? Where is the mayor? Like, where are the people? Fuck. I mean, they got the power here. Like, yeah, it's homelessness is becoming really like regular. Every corner, there's people at them asking for money. Yeah.
Pass.
Okay. Without homelessness, there would be no struggle. So, in this society, they want everybody to struggle. You gotta understand, like, if they shut down the hospitals, they're not gonna make no money. If they have a cure for cancer, if they get a cure out, they're not gonna make no money. Like, oh my God.
Like you said, it's rigged.
People, it's like, I guess in this society, people have no choice but to be homeless. Like, them homeless people, guess what they have to do? They have to work. They have to work harder. They want you to work for what you really already have. They want you to pay for land, and they don't even own this land. Like, we out here. They can die tomorrow. They don't own this land. Whoever is in charge, they can die. They're not really in charge. Then their friend gonna be in charge. They not in charge. We in charge. Everybody's in charge. You just have to take charge. But people don't want to speak up, and everybody just want to be quiet. But everybody got to understand, everybody's voice means something. And when you speak to everybody, not just you and that person. So people just need more speakers. Yeah. Wow. This is crazy. So really thinking about this stuff, it's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of systems in place that
Mm-hmm.
prevent any kind of person who is experiencing homelessness, houselessness in any degree of its definition, whether someone is couch hopping or living in their car or someone who is at an encampment. There's so many systems working against them to keep them there, unfortunately, because a lot of homeless shelters, like a requirement is like sobriety, and not everyone is in a place where that is something that's realistic for them. Or a lot of homeless shelters will split up families, or especially like if a parent has been deemed unfit to take care of a child, that child and tentatively their siblings are just going to be split up and tossed into a system that, this is a whole rant, privatize everything is yes. But what are our expectations of city, county, state, and or federal government's responses, especially in the scope of the influx of shelters as a short-term solution? What are the long-term resources or solutions that we can think of for houselessness?
All right, I'll start again, I guess. I feel like expectation is always that they're gonna help. Reality is that they're gonna go around and destroy all their camps as usual and be stupid. But like, see, I can't even say make more shelters as a resource that would help. And that that's so dumb, because a lot of shelters, like you were saying, they have a lot of rules that don't work, or they have rules where you have to be, curfew is 9. You have to be in bed by 9. Otherwise you get kicked out of the shelter. You have to be out of bed by 6. Otherwise you can't come back to the shelter. So if you're trying to work nights to pay rent, good luck with that. And if you're trying to sleep in after working nights, good luck with that. But so creating more sustainable shelters, I think, is something that should really happen, and finding more diverse housing options, because there's a lot of shelters that are just modeled after like everybody's in one area, or there's different we need to try some new things. Change it up, switch it around. Who's next?
I go last.
You can
Yeah,
pass.
I feel like I would say build more shelters, but I don't know. I feel like some people take shelters as a way to get comfortable. And let's be realistic, we're grown. Too old to be trying to get comfortable somewhere that's not yours. So I feel like they should build more shelters for wider range ages. Like, it's a lot of shelters are cut off at 21 for male or women. And it's a lot of older homeless people out here than there is younger, because the younger can find multiple resources. But yeah, I feel like they should make more shelters for the older adults. Resources, yeah. And they only like help you for like 90 days. I mean, that is kind of a long time, but
Okay, so we do need more shelters and stuff like that. But they also need to come and realize, like, y'all dealing with grown people. It's not like they're 16, 17 running the streets. Like, they're out here trying to provide for their family and more stuff like that. And what really irritates me is just like, you will have a home, you really could, and the next thing you know, you're getting evicted, and they telling you got to be out within 30 days. What can you do within those 30 days? You got to make sure your kids are eating, you're straight, and they're straight. Like, they're not really being understandable. And I went through that myself when I was younger, so I definitely know how it feels. My mom did everything she could, and these people just told us we got to get out. We ain't have nowhere to go, and the shelter that we did go to, it wasn't as good. My mom was fighting with them people. It was a lot. They really do not care, especially if you're Black.
I just don't like homelessness. And people, I feel like, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about the homeless. Oh my God. So, could you explain number 3? I mean, C.
What are the expectations of city, county, state, or federal government's responses? How would you like to see them respond?
What's something they could do to help them?
Well, they can start by, I wouldn't say give out no more stimulus checks, because all that did was cause a major problem. That caused too much for no reason. Like people gotta understand. They say they want to help, but they're not really helping. They gave everybody a little percentage of what they think they should have. It's like it was like an allowance for y'all, like just to keep y'all cool. Like the whole time, it's something bigger really happening. That was a distraction from what was really going on, and don't nobody really would know what's going on. But what's really going on, y'all getting played. But like y'all think it's making y'all happy at that moment. But like after y'all money gone, y'all's gonna be mad. Like, and that's what happened. Everybody was stressing. Keep looking up on the app. Oh, why my stimulus check ain't here? People stressed. People fighting over that. People got killed over the stimulus check. They just want to see how everybody react. You can't give, like, everybody want a reaction. You can't get everybody a reaction. Like, I noticed that myself. Like, I used to be mad about a lot of things and arguing with people. Like, the whole time, why am I arguing with you or going back and forth with you? It's not gonna benefit nothing. But yes. a lot of homeless people, they just need to speak up about what they want and what they need. And if they don't get it, better get a lot of people to come with you and vote with you.
With that being said, the question that we were posed initially at the beginning of this was, what was one word or phrase you needed to hear as a kid?
This mic really is heavy. I better have muscles after this, or I'm gonna be mad. Gonna sue.
You already signed a contract.
Dang it. One word or phrase I needed to hear growing up. Got it. Great. One word or phrase I needed to hear growing up. Just stop it. Just stop it. Stop trying to please everyone and stop trying to be someone you think is worthy of love. You're worthy of love just being yourself. You don't have to try and be what other people want or expect or think you should be, because that's bogus. And frankly, it's gonna take more time than it's worth, and it's gonna make you a lot sadder. So just stop it. Be yourself. This isn't on here. It's one word or phrase you would like to hear growing up.
Okay. Always stay focused, and if you want to do something, don't ever think you can't do it. I'm done.
Mine was, I wish I was told a lot growing up, like, it's okay to feel however you want to feel. In the moment, toward situations, anything, it's okay. It's just okay.
Mines would have been to stay positive. I personally feel like no matter how much negative stuff can be thrown up in your face, there's just always that positive thing that just lifts you up and makes you a better person. That's how I had to grow up. And when I went through everything that I went through, I was just always that positive person. I never thought negative.
It's a tie between two. It's be the person you need to be, you wanted your younger self to be when you grew up. And I went to Pride this last year, and of course there's the parents bringing their young children or like teenagers to Pride, and then some of the moms will hand out mom hugs. And I got one this last year, and she was like, "You're accepted as you are," and like the waterworks really came on that one. Yeah, I think. Last question.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do we say bye, or do we just end? Do we just walk away? Bye.
Bye, streamers.
I'm doing it. It'll just be me. Are we done now?
And scene.